Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Usnina Hazrani binti Muhammad Hazan Hafizan. Okay, today I will present our research about the influence of social media marketing on tourist intention to visit tourist destination in Malaysia. So, social media has become one of the most powerful marketing platform in the tourist industry. Many tourists rely on platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to search for travel information before they are deciding where to visit. However, there are several research gaps that motivate this study. The first issue is the limited understanding of specific social media marketing element. So, most previous studies only examine social media marketing as a whole. So, they do not clearly explain which elements such as content quality, electronic word of mouth, or EWOM, engagement, and influencer marketing have the greatest influence of tourist intention to visit a destination. Okay, next, the issue that related is trust and credibility. Nowadays, tourists are exposed to a large amount of tourist information online. However, not all information is reliable. Some tourists may question the authenticity of social media content, the credibility of online review, and the trustworthiness of influencer. This concern may affect their decision to visit a destination. Okay, next issue is lack of destination-specific research in Malaysia. Most previous studies focus on tourism in general rather than Malaysian destination. Therefore, more research is needed to understand how social media marketing influence tourists who plan to visit attraction in Malaysia. Okay. Based on this issue, our study has four objectives. For the first one, to examine the influence of social media marketing on tourist intention to visit destination in Malaysia. Second, to determine the effect of social media content quality. Third, to examine the relationship between electronic word of mouth and tourist intention to visit. The last one is to determine the influence of social media engagement with influencer marketing on tourist intention to visit Malaysian destination. So, I want to conclude my part is this study will help tourist marketers understand which social media strategy are most effective in attracting tourists to visit destination in Malaysia. Thank you.
So thank you, Sina. So now I will continue the next part, which is chapter 2. So moving to on chapter 2, which is the literature review. This chapter discuss previous studies and academic findings related to the influence of social media marketing on tourist intention to visit Malaysia. The literature review is divided into several main areas. Firstly, this chapter discusses the theoretical framework, which includes the stimulus organism response theory and technology acceptance model. Secondly, it's review the independent variable, which are social media content quality, electronic word of mouth, user engagement, and digital influencer marketing. Besides that, this chapter also discuss the mediating variable, which are destination image and tourist trust, followed by dependent variable, which is tourist intention to visit. Finally, this chapter identified research gaps that support the need for this study. So next is theoretical framework. For the theoretical foundation, this study applies to main theories, which is the stimulus organism response model and the technology acceptance model. Firstly, the SOR model explains how external factors influence consumer decision-making process. In this study, social media marketing dimension act as the stimulus that influence tourist internal perception, represented by destination image and tourist trust. This internal factor then lead to the response, which is tourist intention to visit. Secondly, the technology acceptance model explains how users accept and interact with digital platform. The model focuses on perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use, which help explain how tourists obtain and evaluate tourism information through social media platform. So, for the next slide is about review independent variable. So, this study focus on 4 main independent variable to relate social media marketing. So the first variable is social media content quality. It refers to the accuracy, attractiveness and useful of tourism content shared online. High quality content can provide better information and reduce uncertainty among potential tourists. The second variable is electronic word of mouth, or a WOM. It refers to online review, comment and recommendation shared by other users. Positive EWOM can increase tourist confidence because users often rely on other travelers' experience. The third variable is user engagement, which include activities such as liking, commenting, sharing and saving tourism content. Higher engagement indicates stronger interaction between tourists and destination. The final variable is digital influencer marketing. Influencer can affect tourist decision by providing authentic experience and recommendation, which may increase trust and encourage travel intention. Next, for the next slide is mediating and dependent variable. For the mediating variable, this study focus on destination image and tourist trust. Destination image to the overall perception and impression that tourists have towards a destination. It includes both cognitive aspects such as attraction, facilities and safety, as well as affective aspects such as feeling and emotion toward the destination. The second mediator is tourist trust. Trust is important because tourism involves high uncertainty, where tourists usually make decisions before experiencing the destination. Therefore, trust helps reduce perceived risk and support travel decisions. The dependent variable in the study tourist intention to visit. It refers to tourist willingness and future plan to visit a destination, including activities such as searching for information, planning trips and making booking. So now for the next slide is literature review conclusion and research gap. So in conclusion, previous studies show that social media marketing has become an important factor influencing tourist behavior and destination decision making. Most previous studies adopted quantitative research approach using questionnaire as the main data collection method. Common data analysis technique include SPSS analysis and structural equation modeling. However, several research gaps were identified. Firstly, most previous studies adopted quantitative research approach using questionnaire as the main data collection method. Common data analysis technique include SPSS analysis and the structural equation modeling. However, several research gaps were identified. Firstly, many studies treat social media marketing as a single construct rather than examining each dimension separate. Secondly, there are limited studies focusing on Malaysia tourism context. Lastly, favor student examine destination image and tourist trust together as mediating variable. Therefore, the study aims to address this gap by developing a more comprehensive framework. So, next is chapter 3, which is research methodology. So the first is introduction and research objective. Next, chapter 3 explain the research methodology used in the study. This chapter describes the research design, population and the sampling method, research instrument, pilot testing and data collection procedure and data analysis technique. The main objective of this study is to examine the influence of social media marketing dimension on the tourist intention to visit Malaysia. Specifically, the study aims to investigate the effect of social media content quality, EWOM, user engagement and influencer marketing on visit intention, while also examining the mediating roles of destination image and tourist trust. Next slide is about research design. For the research design, this study applies quantitative research approach because it's focused on collecting numerical data and testing relationship between variables. The research design is explanatory because this study aims to explain the relationship influence between social media marketing dimension and tourist intention to visit. This study uses a cross-sectional time horizon where data will be collected within one specific period. The research setting is non-contrived because respondents will answer the questionnaire naturally through online platform. The unit analysis for this study is individual tourist or social media user. So next is population and sampling. So for this part, for population and sampling, the target population consists of domestic and international tourists who use social media platform and interact with Malaysia tourism related content. So, the respondent must be at least 18 years old and have experience viewing or engaging with tourism content on platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook or YouTube. This study applied purposive and convenience sampling technique. Purposive sampling ensures that respondents have relevant experience, while convenience sampling allow efficient data collection through online platform. The target sample size is 384 respondents determined based on Gaussian formula for large population. So for the next part, I will explain about research instrument and pilot test. So for the research instrument, this study used a structured online questionnaire developed in the both English and Malay language. This questionnaire consists of 4 sections. Section A cover demographic information. Section B measure social media marketing dimension. Section C measure the mediating variable and section D measure tourist intention to visit. Overall, the questionnaire consists of 34 items using a 5-point like a circle ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Before the actual data collecting, a pilot test will be conducted with 30 respondents to evaluate the reliability and clarify of the questionnaire. Crowbench alpha value above 0.70 will be indicate acceptable reliability. So for the next is about data collection and data analysis. For the data collection, the questionnaire will be distributed online using Google Form. The survey link will be shared through tourism-related social media group and online communities. The data collection period will take approximately will be voluntary and all respondents will remain anonymous. For the data analysis, the study will use IBM SPSS and Smart PLS. Descriptive analysis will be conducted to analyze respondent demographic information, while inferential analysis such as multiple linear regression and PLS SEM will be used to detect relationship between variables. Additionally, bootstrapping analysis will be conducted to examine the meditation effect of destination image and tourist trust. So that's all from us. Thank you.